Hello, my name is Ruben. I go by he, they pronouns, preferably they, them. Um, I'm a sixth grade ELA teacher in Gilbert, Louisiana, which is like about an hour south of Monroe, is how I can like judge the distance. But it's like East Louisiana, which is a weird place in of itself. Um, I write on the side as well. I've been working on a novel uh, for about 8 months now. And I've also written some poetry and short stories along the way, as well as some nonfiction work. A lot of my influences, though, come from Southern literature. Growing up in the South, especially in Louisiana, there was always like a sense of family and how the family operates in times of loss and times of happiness and even in times of adversity when we go through sort of trials. Um, I grew up religious as well and had sort of the influence of like the I don't know. I'm not as religious now, mostly because of the things I saw in uh, the southern religions or southern religion I was in. It was Southern Baptist, but one thing I took away from that is always how Southern literature is connected to a lot of the facets of our identity, but yet we are still sort of intermingled in like the South, and as you talked about, Dr. Rittmayer, in your introduction video about place and region and how that affects our character, how it affects like how we view the world as well. Like, do we view it through a filtered lens as a Southerner, or do we view it as a human? That's one thing I've always wanted to focus on in my own writing. Um, a lot of my influence though come from Southern literature, especially older Southern Gothic literature, like Flannery O'Connor, William Faulkner, like those kinds. But I was also attracted to Cormac McCarthy because I think he deals with the grotesque, and the elusive South pretty well in some of his work, especially No Country for Old Men, which is based in Texas, and All the Pretty Horses, as well as Child of God, those kinds of books. I mostly have been interested though in his novel Suttree. I've been reading that and looking at how he deals and moves with language is pretty interesting. Also, like Joan Didion, who recently passed away. Apologies, my storage was full in the middle of me recording this, and I apologize. I was talking about Joan Didion, who recently passed away. Um, One thing I like about her though is like her connection to place and people. Slouching Towards Bethlehem was a really good book, and so was her memoir, The Year of Magical Thinking. I also like some different contemporary authors. Otessa Moshfegh, for example. I like her attention to short stories, and I'm excited to read Lauren Groff this semester, as well as Swamplandia, which I'm about halfway through with. It's getting pretty interesting, and I can't wait to talk about it. I also like some like indie authors. There's one I met at AWP right before the pandemic started. I went to AWP in San Antonio, and I met this author, and I read his book. It's called The 392, and his name is Anthony Hickinson Love, and he's about to come out with a new novel. But what I liked about his work is he treats place as if it were this liminal space that we constantly move through. Like there's this one particular bus he talks about, and it's all the passengers on the bus. Um, Sorry, my cat is doing something underneath me. Also enjoy poetry. I studied poetry and creative writing as well as film studies at NSU as an undergrad. Um, Now I'm in grad school, and I want to further my education of literature and how we as people experience literature as well as how we put our experience into literature. Um, I'm looking forward a lot to this semester, especially for contemporary Southern Lit, because I enjoy mysticism in writing. I also enjoy magical realism, sorry, which I think will maybe play a part in some of this. I know that Annihilation kind of plays in that, um, but I am excited, and especially for Florida themed class, Florida on about two occasions, and I never fully enjoyed it, mostly because it was always like hot, but I'm sure it is it is probably resemblance of what I would think Florida would look like. But there's always like this idea of Florida man and Florida woman, as you were talking about, that exists down there that makes it more interesting and more sort of mythical and legend, um, especially in our South as we know it. But that is about me. I'm excited for this course. I'm excited for everything, and I hope to discuss with everyone in the discussion forums. Thank you.